Hi, I'm Tobin South, and I help lead AI agents at WorkOS.
Tobin, now's like a crazy time. You live up here in San Francisco. I feel like you've been doing a lot in AI. What are you seeing like this year that like is just kind of feels new and fresh and is blowing up right now?
Yeah. Everyone in this city is building AI, literally everyone. And everyone's trying to sell AI into large enterprises and companies. But there's this concern that is growing and growing and growing as to how we manage all this complexity. Everyone wants it.
Yeah.
Everyone's also a little worried. But I think we're finally getting to the stage where folks are building and selling solutions to make this practical.
Are you seeing that line come down for how like the size of company that enterprises are willing to buy from?
That's a great question because people who are at the cutting edge, these tiny teams, they're small, they're scrappy, and they build really, really cool products. But they also are not great at scaling when you're a 3-person team who have vibe coded an AI app.
Yeah. And
So-
they're like, hey, like, can you integrate SSO? And you're like, which two of the three are we going to put on that for 6 months?
Exactly. When your head count is, can be counted on a hand, you can't really do enterprise grade features. So the hard question is, how do you get the scrappy small teams to build robust, scalable products when they started with vibe coded slop?
So with people needing to integrate like a different level of like security and kind of integration with these enterprise companies, like what does that like look like for AI applications specifically, and how it might be different from a regular SaaS-based application?
It's always kind of sucked to do enterprise features, right? Like we built a whole company off this, right? It's painful, it's boring, no one wants to do it. The thing is, now we've laid on top of that a part of your app that just does random stuff that you don't fully expect some of the times.
Yes.
It writes text that's unexpected. It writes code that might have random bugs in it. For me, I'm always using Claude Code. It's just deleting random folders, sometimes killing processes. So there's always been the same enterprise features we need. You've just got to make them go a little bit further for the AI apps to solve this non-determinism that comes from AI models.
Yeah. We have new protocols in AI like MCP. What are you seeing around that? And what are the security needs that people have specific to these like AI agents and things that work kind of autonomously on your behalf?
Yeah. Big protocol guy right here. Love a protocol, love a new protocol, love an old protocol. Every one of these new tools like MCP, which lets you connect AI applications, AI agents to your external resources and applications. It's like a new interface. Or even wackier things like A2A, which lets you have an agent talk in natural language to another agent, are super cool. When they were designed around capabilities. But security was kind of an afterthought, and kind of by definition. If you think...
We'll get that. I mean, I feel like that's the way that a lot of people program too. Let's make the cool stuff and leave the boring stuff for later.
You don't get anywhere if you start with, that's a bit of a security flaw. Of course it's a security flaw. The question is, now that everyone's decided to adopt it, how do we bring it back and make it secure?
Yeah. And how do we bring it back and make it secure?
That's a great question. For specific protocols like MCP, part of it is just taking the old tools we've always had and plugging them in to the new world of AI agents. And that's super easy and super fun. But the rest of it is designing new solutions specific to the spec. Just this week, we're working on client ID metadata, which is a way of making sure that your application interface that is for AI, your MCP server, knows which AI agent it's talking to and can trust that. Up until now, the last 6 months, we've had dynamic client registration where any AI application willy-nilly could connect to your SaaS app API.
Hey, I'm here.
Which is crazy. And so we're really trying to work on the forefront of this protocol and on the code bases to make sure they are really robust.
Yeah. Now, you've had the opportunity to work with, teams to develop the future of MCP. What does that look like, from the inside out?
So people write down a spec. When you make a proposal, you write down a spec, and then everyone goes and implements it differently. And the clients that exist, the tools for all these AI applications, do things subtly differently. So what they say on the internet has no relation to how things are built in the real world. So you have to go in the trenches, build with everything, and figure out how to debug it and reverse engineer good solutions.
I love that.
Really fun.
I love that. That's actually one of my favorite things when I got into open source kind of like in the early days of React. I loved that they would be like, okay, we have this idea for like a potential future of like how we would do like styling per se. And then like everyone, like 100 libraries would come out and be like, this is how we do it. And you kind of like cherry pick like the best ideas from all of them and like come up with this super idea. It was like super fast and super fun time to just like collect like good ideas.
And that like creative chaos is how progress happens, but it is chaos in the moment that you have to deal with.
Yeah. What are you excited looking into the next year? What are you most excited about seeing kind of come to fruition, get resolved in some of these specs?
So having standard interfaces for language models like MCP unlocks a lot of cool AI training opportunities, tools like reinforcement learning on top of tool calling. Right now, AI agents, they're not that good. Right? We can connect them to stuff, but they misbehave, things go wrong. But the AI models you have today are the worst they will ever be at using tools.
Yeah.
And so as the tool ecosystem gets fleshed out, AI models will get better at using tools, and there'll be a flywheel that will just be unstoppable of unlocking AI agents.
Yeah. What do you think about this? There was an article that came out about code skills kind of being something that could surpass MCP in practical like use. What are your thoughts on that?
I think code skills are a great tool to encapsulate a specific set of actions that you want AI to do. I think they're very complementary to MCP. Where I see MCP existing is if you're a SaaS company trying to sell a product, then you now can build a new interface. Skills don't solve that connective problem where you need that connective tissue. You need that new interface designed for AI models.